So, today's topic is tetanus. Now, regarding introduction, tetanus, tetanos, a Greek word that means to stretch. So, tetanus is an acute disease induced by the exotoxin of Clostridium tetani. Clinically, the disease is characterized by muscular rigidity which persists throughout illness, punctuated by painful paroxysmal spasm of voluntary muscle, especially the masseter, that is called tricemus or lockjaw, the facial muscle, rhizus sardonicus, muscle of the back and neck that leads to opisthotonous position, and those of the lower limbs and abdomen. Now, regarding problem statement, despite the availability of highly effective vaccine, tetanus is still a public health problem in many developing countries due to warm climate, unhygienic practices, and poor medical services. In India, the case prevalence of tetanus is still high. It may be probably due to lack of environmental hygiene and basic health education, inadequate vaccination, including booster doses, ongoing unhygienic ritual practices such as nose and ear prick, shaving of head, especially in neonates, septic abortions, improper wound care following injuries, contamination of almost all roads and fields with animal excreta such as cow dung, animal excreta. Mortality from tetanus remains high among neonates, pregnant, and elderly population. The majority of tetanus cases are birth associated and occurs in developing countries among newborn babies or in mothers following unclean deliveries and poor postnatal hygiene. Adults and the elderly are particularly susceptible to tetanus because of gradual waning of immunity with age along with lack of booster vaccination. Now comes to the epidemiology regarding agent factor. Agent is Clostridium tetani is a gram-positive anaerobic spore-bearing organism. Spores are terminal and give the organism a drumstick appearance. The spores germinate in anaerobic condition and produce a potent exotoxin. Pathogen is commensal of the herbivorous animal. It lives and multiplies in the intestine of those animal and is excreted in the dung. In the external environment, they convert themselves into a resting stage that is called spores. The animal ingests them while grazing the grass. In the gut, in presence of warmth and absence of oxygen, the spores germinate into vegetative forms and multiplies. There is no autolysis in animals, so there is no liberation of exotoxin. The spores enters the human body percutaneously through the wound contaminated with soil or dust. The spores germinate into vegetative form and on autolysis. So in human beings there is autolysis. They produce highly lethal exotoxin. What are reservoirs of infection? Herbivorous animal are reservoir of vegetative form and soil and dust are reservoir of spores. The spores are highly resistant to disinfectant, antibiotics and heat, and they can survive in soil for many years. However, vegetative forms are sensitive to heat and antibiotics. Exotoxin. Regarding exotoxin, Clostridium tetani produces two types of exotoxin, tetanolysin and tetanospasmin. The function of tetanolysin is not known with certainty. Tetanospasmin is a neurotoxin and causes the clinical manifestation of tetanus. On the basis of weight, tetanospasmin is one of the most potent toxins known. Period of communicability of the disease is none, not transmitted from person to person. How the toxin acts? It blocks the release of inhibitory neurotransmitter, that is glycine, and GABA, that is gamma aminobutyric acid, across the synaptic cleft, which is required to check the nervous impulses. If nervous impulses cannot be checked by normal inhibitory mechanism, it leads to unopposed muscular contraction and spasm that are characteristic of tetanus. Now regarding host factor, commonly it is a disease of active age, that is 5 to 40 years, but neonates also affected by the disease because of unhygienic delivery practices or some rituals, that is neonatal tetanus, tetanus in newborn. Regarding sex, although a higher incidence is found in males, females are more exposed to the risk of tetanus, especially during delivery and abortion, leading to puerperal tetanus. Males appears to be more sensitive to tetanus toxin than females. Occupation related, basically agricultural workers are more at risk, and so incidence in rural areas are much more than urban areas. Regarding immunity, no age is immune unless protected by previous immunization. Environmental factor, tetanus spores are found throughout the environment, usually in soil, dust and animal waste. Tetanus is acquired through the contact with the environment. It is not transmitted from person to person. The environmental factors are compounded by social factors such as unhygienic customs and habits, such as application of cow dung on wound and cord, unhygienic delivery practices, ignorance of infection, and lack of primary health services. Now, mode of transmission. The bacteria can get into the body through the broken skin, usually through injuries from contaminated objects. So, what are the routes of entry? Apparently, trivial injuries, animal bites or human bites, open fractures, burns, gangrene. In neonate, usually via infected umbilical stump, parenteral drug abuse through surgical wound, and it may also after abortion. Incubation period is usually 3 to 21 days, average is 10 days, although it may range from 1 day to several months depending on the kind of wound. Shorter incubation period are seen with more heavily contaminated wound, more severe disease, and a worse outcome of the disease. Now comes to the clinical feature. There is sudden onset of fever which increases day by day. It is associated with prodromal symptom, that is headache, body ache, anorexia and malaise. Meanwhile, patient will have difficulty in opening the mouth because of the painful spasm of masseter muscle. This characteristic early feature is known as lock jaw, that is trismus. Because of the difficulty in opening the mouth, the patient is partially starving. This picture shows trismus. As the condition progresses, the muscle of the face undergo painful spasm, giving rise to typical greasy face as it happens while looking at the bright sun. This feature is called rhizus sardonicus. Later, the muscle of neck become rigid, followed by muscle of the back and extremities. Thus, all the skeletal muscle of the body are affected and the entire body becomes stiff. There will be hyperextension of neck, vertebral column and extremities later give rise to a position of rainbow, that is called opisthotonous position. Patient becomes so sensitive that even slight sensory disturbance like touch, pain, cold, draught of air is sufficient to result in severe painful exhaustive convulsions. Prolonged muscular action because of the convulsions cause sudden, powerful and painful contraction of muscle groups, that is called tetany. These episodes can cause fractures and muscle tear. Patient remain mentally clear and conscious. Patient may die of continuous painful exhaustive convulsions, asphyxia or aspiration pneumonia. Now comes to the type of tetanus. There may be different type of tetanus: traumatic tetanus, neonatal tetanus, puerperal tetanus, autogenic tetanus, local tetanus, idiopathic tetanus. Comes to the traumatic tetanus. It is commonest type. It occurs following injury wound and not caring for it or caring unhygienically. तो जब भी कभी चोट लगे, proper care should be there. Neonatal tetanus, it is also known as tetanus neonatorum or eighth day disease. It is a form of generalized tetanus that occurs in newborn infant and it is fatal if untreated. It occurs during first 2 weeks of life, most commonly at 7th or 8th day, so it is called 8th day disease. It occurs in infants born to inadequate immunized mother through infection of the unhealed umbilical stump, particularly when the stump is cut with an unsterile instrument. It can be easily prevented by tetanus toxoid, 2 doses of tetanus toxoid that may be replaced nowadays by diphtheria and tetanus combined vaccine, and 7 cleans by conducting delivery. What are 7 cleans? 7 cleans are clean surface, clean hand, clean razor or blade, clean cord tie, clean cord stump, and clean water and clean towel. These are some pictures showing tetanus neonatorum. Now comes to the puerperal tetanus. Following unsafe deliveries or criminal abortion predisposed by lack of immunization with tetanus toxoid during pregnancy, route of entry of pathogen is through the vagina, and post-abortal uterus is a favorable site for germination of spores. That is, absence of oxygen and warmth is there. Now, autogenic or cephalic tetanus. It is a rare form of disease with high mortality. It follows head injuries or ear infection, that is otitis media. There is involvement of one or more cranial nerves, especially in the facial area, 3rd, 4th, 6th and 12th nerve. Trismus and localized paralysis occurs, usually facial nerve involved, and it is often unilateral. It occurs following suppurative otitis media predisposed by cleaning of ear by contaminated object like pencil, matchstick, safety pin, hairpin, etc. Now, local tetanus. It is an uncommon form of disease. It is manifestations are restricted to muscle near the wound. So, local tetanus. Cramping, twisting in the skeletal muscle surrounding the wound, local rigidity is there. These contractions may persist for many weeks before gradually subsiding. Local tetanus may precede the onset of generalized tetanus but in milder form. Its prognosis is excellent and only about 1% of the cases are fatal. Now, idiopathic tetanus, it is also known as cryptogenic tetanus. This is concluded when all other types are excluded. Probably there may be microscopic unnoticed trauma is the cause of idiopathic tetanus. Now comes to the complication of tetanus. Uncontrolled involuntary muscular contraction of the vocal cord may be there, so leads to laryngospasm. Break in the bone leads to fractures. Hospital acquired infection chances are there. Blockage of the main artery of the lung or one of its branches by the blood clot that has travelled from elsewhere in the body through the blood stream, that is leads to pulmonary embolism. Pneumonia, a lung infection that develops by breathing in foreign material, that may be because of aspiration pneumonia. Breathing difficulty possibly leads to deaths, 10 to 20% of the cases. Adverse effects of autonomic instability such as cardiac dysarrhythmia and hypertension, malnutrition, coma, neuropathies and psychological after effects may be there. Now comes to the diagnosis. Diagnosis made based on the clinical presentation. Currently, no blood test for diagnosing tetanus. The spatula test is a clinical test for tetanus that involves touching the posterior pharyngeal wall with a sterile soft tip instrument spatula or tongue blade and observing the effect. A positive test result is the involuntary contraction of the jaw that bite the spatula, and a negative test result would normally be a gag reflex attempting to expel the foreign object. This is a picture of child with tetanus. Now comes to the prevention and control. So first of all, primary prevention: wear shoes, sandals to prevent injuries, clean the wound with soap and water. Immunization, that may be pre-exposure with tetanus toxoid, post-exposure with tetanus toxoid and tetanus immunoglobulin. Secondary prevention is early diagnosis and treatment. Now pre-exposure prophylaxis by active immunization with tetanus toxoid, 2 doses of tetanus toxoid or diphtheria toxoid, diphtheria tetanus toxoid combined vaccine for pregnant women, pentavalent or DPT at 6, 10 and 14 weeks after birth, DPT booster at 18 months, DPT at 5 years, and tetanus toxoid or diphtheria and tetanus toxoid booster at 10 and 16 years. Now post-exposure prophylaxis: all wound receive surgical toilet, okay, soap and water. Wound, now comes to the wound that less than 6 hours old, clean, non-penetrating with negligible tissue damage. So there are immune category A, B, C and D. A means the person has had a complete course of toxoid of booster dose within past 5 years. B has had a complete course of toxoid or a booster dose more than 5 years and less than 10 years. C has had a complete course of toxoid or booster dose more than 10 years ago. And D, the immunity status is unknown. So in case where wound is less than 10 hours old and it is clean, non-penetrating with negligible tissue damage, if the immunity category is A, nothing more is required after wound surgical toilet, that is soap and water. If category is B, that means booster dose or the complete course is taken before between 5 years and 10 years. So toxoid dose 1 is required. In category C, toxoid dose 1 is required. In category D, where the immunity status is unknown, toxoid complete course is required. Complete course, that means 2 doses of tetanus toxoid. Now comes to the other wounds that may be more than 6 hours old, may be dirty, may be penetrating with lot of tissue damage. Then if the immunity category is A, then nothing more required after surgical toilet. If category B, then toxoid 1 dose is required. If category C, then toxoid 1 dose plus human tetanus immunoglobulin is required. That means if the person has had a complete course or booster more than 10 years ago, then in penetrating wound there may requirement of immunoglobulin. If category D is there, then toxoid complete course plus tetanus immunoglobulin is also required. Now principle of treatment: first, neutralization of unbound toxin with human tetanus immunoglobulin. Second, prevention of further toxin production by wound debridement and antibiotics. Third, control of spasm, that may be by nursing in quiet environment, avoid unnecessary stimuli and protecting the airways. Fourth, supportive care by adequate hydration, nutrition, treatment of secondary infection and prevention of bed sores. Medication used for treatment: there may be diazepam, most commonly used drug for treatment of tetanus spasm and tetanic seizures, depresses all level of central nervous system. Tetanus immunoglobulin, used to induce passive immunity against tetanus in selected patient. Antibiotics should be given as soon as possible within 6 hours after an injury before a lethal dose of toxin is produced in the wound, which may be as soon as 6 hours after injury. Moreover, it is not certain whether the antibiotic can reach the bacilli if there is dead tissue present in the wound. Therefore, antibiotics alone is ineffective in the prevention of tetanus. It is not a substitute of immunization. So penicillin G is drug of choice. It is bactericidal activity, kills all vegetative form but not spores. Single intramuscular injection of 1.2 mega units of a long acting penicillin, that is benzathine penicillin, will provide a sustained concentration of the drug for 3 to 4 weeks, which is sufficient to kill any vegetative form that may emerge from the sporulating stage. Erythromycin, who are sensitive to penicillin, a 7-day course of erythromycin 500 milligrams 6 hourly orally will kill all vegetative forms but not the spores. Metronidazole, it is active against various anaerobic bacteria. Now, it is very important fact that recovered clinical tetanus does not produce immunity to further attack, because very small amount of tetanus toxin produced cannot elicit strong protective immune response. Therefore, even after recovery patient, they must receive a full course of tetanus toxide and also booster doses at regular interval. Thank you.